a single thing that they taught me that would have established my relationship with God. It was a nice building. It was people that were behaving themselves. It was smiles. But there was no real Bible. There was no Bible teaching. I didn't know the gospel. I pray that other people in that church actually know the gospel. I didn't get it out of it. When I was at college, people from a local church and a campus ministry befriended me. They befriended me and became my friend, were interested in my background, my major, and so forth. It took them actually years of being my friend before I actually understood the gospel. Years, not just, here's a tract, you're a sinner, you got two choices. For me, I was kind of inoculated to Christianity. And so I continued to go to the Bible studies that they were offering. I eventually started going to church. I thought it was almost a sin to step into a church of a different denomination. This was just my thinking. And over time, I think my theology got in line, and I had to make a difficult decision and communicate that to my parents, who did not take it well. They were respectful, but they were deeply hurt, did not understand. But I made that decision, and I feel that I've been growing since that time. When we read the letters of Paul to the various churches, we see his passion and care for believers as he spoke the truth in love. And this is the model that we're to follow. So tonight, I do want to start off by just talking a little bit about what I've been learning recently. I shared that I kind of made some changes in how I was involved last summer. The way that I went about doing that is, I've been a Christian for probably 30 years. And I've had different ups and downs during that time. I've grown and maybe taken a step back at times and so forth. But last summer, I felt particularly burned out. And so I kind of cleared my schedule a bit. And I said, God, I need to choose some sort of activity where I'm at church and I'm quiet before you, and I really need to know next steps. I wasn't expecting audible voices or anything like that, but I needed some quiet in my life, and I needed to know what I needed to do next. And that particular setting, being at church, is what I thought would do it. What I decided to do was to pull weeds around church. Right? I did it as an act of humility. I would have people walk up to me and they're like, you could get people to help you, you could pull the weeds more efficiently. And I'm like, what's going to do with pulling weeds efficiently? I'm here with God. He's showing me kind of the next steps. So I pulled the weeds and I started to observe what was going on around me, because those weeds just weren't doing it for me. I would see people playing in the parking lot that I didn't know, that the neighbors across the street, where their kids would come over and they'd play in the parking lot. I would see people walking down the sidewalk. People would say hi to me. People would come on those Thursday evenings, and they would be going to the ministries on Thursday evening. Well, I never went. I was a Friday kind of person. I didn't go on Thursday. Now I'm a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday kind of person, and Sunday. But I didn't really see what was going on Thursday nights. I met some people, got to know their names and that type of thing. And lastly, I realized that I just didn't want to pull weeds anymore. They were all kind of pulled along the front, and I would just find something else. I got involved a bit with discipleship. Discipleship is a big theme in our church in recent years. And they started by teaching us the basics. So what I really tried to focus on since that point were the up, in, and out relationships of discipleship. It sounds really simple, and it's supposed to be. We are probably all very familiar with them. Up is our relationship with God as we read the Bible, pray, and live in obedience to His Word. We're familiar with that. We have lots of church programs. We're there with the body of Christ. We're building each other up. We're involved in the activities of the church. And then out, which was an area that I felt particularly weak in. There'd be sporadic things, but I knew there needed to be more consistency. That's how we relate to those who are outside the church who need to hear the gospel. So So today, I am getting to the Bible here. I would like to focus on the out relationship. And if you're following along, I'll be referring to some verses in Luke chapter 10, in the beginning and then also in the middle. In verse 1, we read, "After these things, the Lord appointed 70 others also, and he sent them 2 by 2 before his face into every city and place where he himself was about to go." Now we notice that the Lord sent out 70. Some translations say 72. But one of the things that I observed is it's not 12. In chapter 9, the previous chapter, he gave very, very similar instructions to the 12 disciples. And so we see that Jesus is speaking to an ever wider circle of people, and that includes us. I think there was a time when I didn't quite get that, and I'm getting it now. So he sent them out 2 by 2 as well. God prepares us. I mean, he goes on in further verses to say that don't bring a lot of material things to support you. But he's thinking about what we really need.